Welcome back to Robin Reviews. Two things I noticed since my last video. I really appreciate all the love. I think especially the Transmetal Optimus Transformer. It's been doing great, so I appreciate that. I also realized apparently I can't count because I just decided to skip over video 9, and so I'll, even though this one's after, I will attribute it with a 9 just to keep with the numbers. But today, I really wanted to show off one of my favorite things. This is called the Philips Hue Go. This is a smart light that Philips put out, and it put it out, I want to say, 5 or 6 years ago, and I'll include a link below. What is really neat, there's lots of neat, so I'll break it down. This is a light that can plug in. It can actually stand up on its own as well. And then when you get the app, not only can you do a white light. Let me just grab the lights in the room. It's better show it off. Not only can you do white, but it also gives you a wide range of colors as well that you can use. I'll back that up so you get a good view of it. It's quite bright, and it's really great to use both a white or a color. And also, if you don't have the app and you just want to use it as a normal light, there is a button on the bottom, and it has a few functions as well. You can have like a dark, bit lighter. This they call their candle light. As you can see, it pulsates with a little bit of the light. And the neat thing about these lights is they give them a certain lifespan. I've had this for 6 years now, 5 years, sorry. Keep it on my bedside table and use the app to change the lights. Few things about these lights is you do need what's called a bridge. It's a Philips Hue bridge. They sell it their own brand, and what the bridge does is the bridge hooks right into your router, your Wi-Fi router, and then your app then connects to the bridge, which connects it to the lights. And there's no limit on the lights. I'll include the link for Philips Hue, not just for this one, but for their whole lineup below in the comments, because it's amazing what you can do right now. I think about 4 or 5 different kinds of lights. We have these. These are the Philips Hue, and they're great. The neat thing about these, not only the plug-in, they're also portable, as you can see, because I'm not using the wire right now. There's regular light bulbs, which you can do as, you can buy just white ones. So those, it's all white, and you can change the different, level of white, whether you want it to be like a reading light or if you want it to be like a night light. And you can also change the intensity. And you can also get the regular bulbs in color, pot lights, spotlights, light strips, which I also have behind the entertainment, where the TV is, and the list goes on and on. The bulbs are great because the bulbs work outside, even in freezing temperature. And one of the neatest things about these bulbs, and I'm actually going to switch over from showing you the light to showing you the app. This is the Philips Hue app, and what's really neat about the app is not just choosing colors. You can also choose scenes. And so if you have like multiple lights in a room, you can set a scene to it. And the scene will not just, it'll be one color per bulb, but when you work together, it transforms the room. And so I can't give you an example in this room, but I wanted to go over some of the list. And so here you have some party vibes. And so if you were to choose, say Tokyo here, which is this one right here, it's kind of like the neon lights, then one of your lights might go neon blue, one of them might go neon red, one on green, and so on. And so it transforms your entire room, which is really neat. And you can also do the refreshing ones, but also these are some of the defaults. And this is if you want your whole room to be ready to sleep, so nightlight, or if you want to feel a little more alert, there's concentrate, there's energize, and the options are limitless because you can also create your own scenes. And so like Green Bay Packers fan here, and so I can make 2 of the lights dark green and 1 of them yellow. And I mean, the beautiful thing about technology, or the scary thing, depending on who you are, is if you have anything from Amazon, Alexa, Echo, Spot, any of those ones, or Google Home Mini, or any of the other ones, if it's all connected on the same network, you can say, turn Hue Go red, and it'll turn red. Or you could say, make the hue go 55%, and it will do that automatically. You just have to make sure you know the name of the light bulb, otherwise it may not recognize it, or it might do the entire room. But that's not even the coolest part. I could keep going, and I'm going to. Here under automations, it's one of my favorite things you can do. So here you have, I'll show you the top one, which is go to sleep. So there it says 11 p.m. go to sleep 1 every day. And that's quite simply exactly as it sounds. So every night at 11 p.m., all of the lights that you attribute to that automation turn off. And so it's not automatically the whole house, but you have to actually add the bulbs to it. And then here I also have outside. So those are the 2 outside light bulbs. They turn on every day at 4:30 p.m. They turn off every day at 11 p.m. Yes, for all the haters out there, the newly minted Hockey Hall of Famer Daniel Alfredsson. That's a little shout out to him, my own little thing. Favorite hockey player, with him and Wayne Gretzky at the top. But like him or dislike him, he's in the hall now. So that's why I chose 11:11. And then daily behind it, that's some of the other bulbs as well. That is attributed to more so for the time it wakes up. And so every day, all the lights that I attribute to those categories, all the lights in the house turn on at 4. Then at 4:30, the outside lights come on, and then at 11, everything turns off. And they all have a 30-minute buildup as well. And so, for example, in the bedroom or in the basement, at 3:30, they start to come on. I think it starts at 10% and then adds a few percent every few minutes. And then by the time it hits 4 o'clock, it is fully on. The reason this is so neat is not necessarily just because it makes life easier, but because if you're away or on vacation, it makes it look like someone's home. It makes it look like people are turning lights on and off during the day. And it also has, the last thing I'll say, even though there's lots to explore in this app, there is also a way to make it so that it's like vacation mode. And I apologize, I don't have the exact wording because I never use it, but there is a vacation mode where you set it. And what the app does is for the duration of your time you're away, it randomly turns your lights on and off at different times. And that's simply in case you want a little more strength behind what you're trying to fake of being home. And so like you could have an empty house for a week, and yet some days it comes on at 5 and goes off at 9, and some days it comes on at 4 and goes off at 8. Like the possibility is endless, and you can set that, but it allows you to just have really random. So if anyone who's looking at your house thinks someone is home. These are really great lights. And the thing that I mentioned earlier near the beginning is they have a lifespan. But we're kind of waiting for that to actually kick in. I believe one of the shorter lifespans is the Hue Light Strip. And that's simply because the bulbs are so small and there's so many of them that it's a bit longer. But we have ours come on every day for 7 hours a day. And this has been those we've had for 4 years, and they are still working. So really, we're waiting for that lifespan to happen and to maybe show us we need new ones. The downside, I guess, if you use them to the point where they actually only last like 2 or 3 years, is you could be spending $40 for a light bulb that only lasts 2 or 3 years. So you are spending quite a bit more money than normal light bulbs. However, you gain the ability to dim them, to cycle them through colors, to set moods. If you're watching a movie like The Gray with Liam Neeson, and it's mostly outside in the winter, you can give all your lights that kind of really kind of a icy blue look, and so it kind of sets the tone there. Or if you're ever watching Star Wars, if you're ever watching the classic battle between Anakin and Obi-Wan, you could have a nice little orange and red thing going on. Really, the options are quite limitless. But my favorite out of all the bulbs we have is still the Hue Go. The one thing about it being quote-unquote portable is, for example, if you decided you wanted to have a take it to work for something, you would lose the ability, even though it's portable, to change the colors because you're not taking the bridge with you. And so it is portable in the essence that I can take it around the house, but not so much that I could change its color or do different things with it when it's out in the world, except for whatever I can do by pushing the button there on the bottom. But other than that, I mean, it's fantastic. It gives really good light. It's hard to tell right now because it is daytime, but it gives off a really strong light, a huge array of colors. If you just look over here to the side, it gives off a really good array. And so that's your color wheel there. And so you just were to press it and you could just go around the wheel to any color you want. And you'll notice here there are 2 other spots. One of those is another Hue Go 3. And so that's all the way upstairs. But if I was to pull the Hue Go that I have over to it, and you feel a little bit of a vibration, you can actually, if I can get it, you can actually match them together, which puts them on the same light. And so that's awesome. The third one there is a Hue Play. It's kind of like a bar light, and it right now it's propped up behind a bedroom TV. And what that does is it flashes really cool color off the backs of the wall. And so we have 3 lights there. When they work together, it's really quite beautiful. So that's the Philips Hue. I'm going to do a link below in the comments for the Hue Go itself, as well as for Philips listing of all the different lights they have. I'd love to own them all. Some of them are quite expensive, and they have outdoor, indoor, anything you can really think of they have, and so check that out. And as always, if you're liking what you're seeing, give me a like, give me a subscribe, and have a good day. Thanks. Bye.